Welcome to another episode of the UCLA Bruins Insider Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Con Moreno, lead writer for UCLA Bruins on SI. And today we're going to do a bit of a different episode. Usually we just talk about kind of the news of the day. The news of the day recently has been softball and baseball, softball season ending and baseball advancing to super regionals of the Men's College World Series. But today we're going to go ahead and take a look at football. We're going to go ahead and take a look at their schedule. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of rank what I think are the most important games of the season. Obviously, it's 12 games. Every game is most important. But if you look at the schedule, here's how I like to break it down. There are some games that they should win, some games that, let's be honest, they should lose. And there are some games that they must win. So I'm going to be focusing on the must wins. Real quick, let's break it down. I think the should wins, you're looking at week 3 against New Mexico, week 5 against Northwesterns. Those are should wins. So there's 2 wins right there that you already have for the Bruins that they should be winning. And then their should lose, their most likely losses, you're looking at Penn State. That's on October 4th. You're looking at Ohio State, Nebraska, and I guess maybe Indiana. Those are some of the matchups that you're gonna pretty much assume that the Bruins are gonna lose. So that leaves you with the 2-4 record, and that's 6 games. So another 6 games are pretty much all toss-ups, and the Bruins need to win those if they want to have a shot at the postseason. Or at least a bowl game. They didn't have a bowl game last season. They went 5-7. So yeah, let's go ahead and rank the must-win games that I think the Bruins should win. And let's just start it off right away with number 1. I think the season opener against Utah on August 3rd, I think that is a must-win. The Utes are going in favored by 3.5 points, which means they're not. The Bruins aren't heavy underdogs. So, if UCLA and, they're coming into this season with a lot of traction and a lot of eyes on them with the transfer of Nico Iamaleava. So, it would be a great statement win, I believe, to start off the season with a win against Utah, against someone that they're not favored against. So, yeah, I think that is number 1. Against Utah. Number 2, I think, is actually we're going to flip, from the beginning of the schedule to the entire end of the schedule. I think the season finale against USC, which is at USC on November 29th, I think that is the second most important game of the season. So let's paint a picture here. This is what I thought kind of going into ranking, the USC game this high. Obviously UCLA is not going to be favored. I think USC is winners of 7 of their last 10 against UCLA. Still a rivalry though. It's going to be at USC, and it's going to be the finale. So bear with me. Here's the picture I'm painting. Let's just say that UCLA in their second year in the Big Ten, they kind of improve, but not really. They kind of improve, but kind of are stuck in mediocrity in their second season in the Big Ten. Last season they went 5-7. Maybe they improve to that. Maybe going into this last week they are, let's say going into this last week they are 6-5. Let's say 6-5. Let's say that they lose 5 games but they win 6. Going into that game against USC, it'll be, really important for, there's going to be a lot of postseason implications on the line in that game. And come on, like rivalry games are literally the most important games in college football. So if they can beat the Trojans on the postseason finale, if they can, completely flip their seasons from going 5-7 to going 7-5, getting a bowl game, maybe even getting into the postseason, that would be a pretty good game to do it. So that's what I have number 2 at USC. Oh, and by the way, let me mention, At Tennessee last season, Nico Iamaleava, he beat both Alabama and Vanderbilt, which are Tennessee's, most notable rivals. Vanderbilt was on the road, and I think it was like the second to last game of the season. So, he has SEC experience. He has experience winning rivalry games. So, honestly, I think Nico Iamaleava can really just make a difference by himself this next season for the Bruins. So we'll see how that plays out. Number 3, I think it's at Michigan State on October 11th. Conference play, obviously. Conference play, those games are going to be the most important. But what's more important than conference play games? Conference games on the road. So they're at Michigan State on the road on October 11th. And also, it's one of the 3 game times that we have locked in for UCLA so far this season. That one on Saturday, October 11th, is going to be at 12 p.m. Eastern, which is 9 a.m. 9 a.m. start for California time. So, yeah, that's going to be a pretty big game. It's going to be an early game. Teams can be different in early games. So that's going to be a very important game for them. Number 4, I think it's at UNLV, which is the second game of the season. The way I think of this is, how do you respond to assuming you win the season opener against Utah, which I think is the most important game. Assuming you come out and make a statement win in opening week, how do you follow that up? You go on the road against UNLV, who is obviously, they're probably not going to be favored, but they're going to be a feisty team led by Dan Mullen. So how do you follow up that week 1 win against a team that you're not favored against? By going into Las Vegas the week after and winning a road game starting 2-0. I think that would be a really great start for the Bruins, and that's why I have their game against the Rebels in week 2 as their most important. And then the 5th one that I have, which is going to be our last one, is against Washington on November 22nd. This is their second to last game, which means it's the game before their matchup against the Trojans. The Huskies, they finished just above UCLA last season in the Big Ten conference standings. They finished 6-7. They lost their bowl game, but in conference play, they went, I believe it was 5-4, something like that. I don't have it at the top of my head, but yeah, and the way I see it is that if you're UCLA and you want to incrementally improve upon last season, then you just have to improve over whoever's in front of you. And who exactly was in front of them? It was Washington. They were literally right in front of them in the standings last season. And if UCLA wants to improve, they have to be better than the people that were better than them last season, obviously. So those are the 5 opponents, the 5 most important games that I had. Let me know what you think about them. Go ahead and continue reading my stories on UCLA Bruins on SI. So that's all we have for you today. Thank you for watching another episode of UCLA Bruins Insider Podcast. Again, I'm your host, Connor Moreno, and I'll go ahead and see you tomorrow.